Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 8 Ball Sports. And as you can tell by the title, Butch Jones has finally, I guess, been fired from Tennessee. I think most people expected this. They had been moving up, but this year was definitely a drop-off from their plan. They were going to hope to be a national championship contender in the next couple of years, and if they continued to move the way they were going, where they were winning another game, it seemed like each season, then it would have succeeded. Then Butch Jones would have still been there. But they dropped down this year, had a really rough year, and Butch Jones finally gets fired. So, if you're wondering why I'm making a video about this, I'm an Ohio State fan. This is a big news in college football. I made one over the Jim McElwain firing at Florida, and I'm making one here. We're seeing two SEC coaches get sacked in the past 2 weeks, and so it's big college football news, and that's why I'm making a video about it. So getting into it, he was 34-27 at Tennessee, and when I think about that record, I look back at last year where they started off 6-0, and I think you could argue they probably didn't deserve to be 6-0 that year. And I know that could get some hate from Tennessee fans. I did a Tennessee-Georgia post-game analysis with the Hail Mary that Tennessee threw, and I basically said that I didn't think Tennessee deserved to win that game, and that video got a lot of Tennessee fans riled up, but I think you look at that record, and it could have very well been a 31-30 record. Close to 500 at the end of it. And then he was 3-0 in bowls, so if there was an upside, but also they never played in a major bowl. I don't know which bowls those are. I believe one of them, well, yeah, I think one of them was the Music City Bowl last year, if I'm correct. To me, this is just, we all expected Butch Jones to get fired. I don't think anyone doubted that he was going to get fired after this year. I thought he was going to get fired after the Georgia game. But then I think everyone kind of realized Georgia is that good, although they did lose last night. No post-game analysis video for that. I do apologize. I think we all knew he was going to get fired. This, to me, is a weird place to fire him because you have, 2 games left on the season. And, you think Tennessee can still make a bowl? Actually, I don't even know if yeah, I'm pretty sure they can still make a bowl game if they win out. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're 0-6 in the SEC. I don't think they lost an out-of-conference game. So I think they can still make a bowl game if they beat whoever, and then Vanderbilt. I don't think they're going to beat Vanderbilt, but I very well could be wrong. And then I don't know who they play next week. I don't know Tennessee's schedule. But to me, why not finish out this season or fired them earlier when the struggles really began? To me, that would have made more sense. With 2 games left in the season, you're throwing an interim head coach in here to try to coach 2 games. And if the interim head coach has even a chance of of keeping the job as a full-time position next year, you're only giving him 2 games to prove that. So I don't know. To me, you can agree with me. To me, this is a weird place to fire a coach with only 2 games left. I get why they fired him, but I mean, I would have fired him too. I don't think he was leading the program in the right direction. But why not let him finish out this year, or why not have fired him halfway through the year where the struggles really began? And the struggles that had been kind of happening where they'd fallen off. You look at Tennessee, last year I said they went to start 6-0. I think they ended 8-4. So the struggles, it seemed like to me, were the back half of the season. They could never, injury problems were always something big with Butch Jones. And certain part of that can be placed on luck or just, being unlucky with your players getting hurt. But a little bit has to be placed on the strength and conditioning coach and any coaches like that, not keeping their players fit and stuff like that. And they seeming to fall off at the bottom half, in the second half of the season, as I mentioned, 6-0 to 8-4 last year. And this year, the same. I mean, they didn't start off the season as good, and they continue to just fall off this season. Right from the Georgia Tech game, I could tell this team is not going to be a top team in the SEC. Georgia Tech's not a bad team, but they should not be a team that you go to. I believe they went to double overtime with. I think double overtime with. Or maybe just a single overtime. I don't remember, but you shouldn't go to overtime with Georgia Tech if you're supposed to be the team that wins the SEC East this year, which is what Tennessee kind of had for expectation for Butch Jones after an 8-4 season last year. They wanted to take that next step and play in the SEC championship game. And so now, of course, the question after any team fires a coach, who will be the next head coach? I don't really have any ideas. I haven't heard any names thrown out. This news report just got about 15 minutes ago, and then I pondered if I wanted to make a video about it, and did. And then obviously I ended up making a video. So who will be the next coach? I don't really know. You tell me who you want to be the next head coach if you're a Tennessee fan, or who you think will be the next head coach, realistically, and then maybe like a fantasy coach. You know, who do you hope that they could somehow pull off? But who are your expectations? Do you expect it to be a coordinator, or do you just expect it to be a brand new guy coming in, and maybe a Lane Kiffin? That's a joke, Tennessee fans. Don't worry. I do live in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm around Tennessee fans all the time. I know I'm not a Tennessee fan. I do not like Tennessee, to be blunt with it. But I would not say I hate Tennessee either. This is, so that Lane Kiffin thing was a joke before anyone puts in the comments. But this is an interesting situation Tennessee's been in. You know, they've been in it a couple times the past couple years. They thought they had found it with Butch Jones. Did they go after another kind of small school head coach, try to bring him in and lead their team? Or do they try to go after someone big, maybe a former NFL coach or a current NFL coordinator, something like that? Leave your opinions down below, and subscribe to the channel for more sports updates, analysis videos,